Hey everybody, and welcome to Slowpoke Racing and to the Ultimate Racing League, sponsored by Eldridge Air Conditioning. Now, this is not the race that I would normally be covering. This is the Amateur 2 League, I believe. Amateur Split 2, I think that's what it's called. Anyway, this is race 2 of round 1 at Laguna Secca. Now, race 1 was covered by Idle 4 Gaming, so if you want to see what happened there, you need to head over to his YouTube channel. Unfortunately, he couldn't bring you race 2 due to a house move. He's had to pack all his kit away, basically, so he can't do it. So he's asked me to step in and just bring you race 2 for this particular round. So it's not going to be a regular thing. It is just a one-off, just to help Idle out. So onwards and upwards. I don't know much about these guys. There's a lot of new names on the grid for me, which I'm looking forward to seeing how they get on. Everybody in the Corvette GR4 love this car, so should be some good racing. Very tricky track. As mentioned already, we are at Laguna Secca. 2.3 miles, 11 turns ahead of the guys, and a lot of gravel and sand and some nasty sausage curbs along the way as well. So yeah, it's going to be a tough one. I believe race 1 was a pretty close battle between Max and Firepower, especially towards the end, so looking forward to those two duking it out in this race as well. So anyway, let's crack on. This, as I say, race 2. I believe there's a pit stop involved in this one, so it's mediums and hard tyres to be used. So we'll just have a look down the grid, see where everybody is placed, and then we'll get this race underway, shall we? So on pole position we have Arnold. Then Golden Lugnuts, I think we'll just call him Golden or Nuts or something like that, for he's in P2. Sid the Sloth, a URL favourite of ours, or especially of mine anyway, in P3. Then we've got Addy in P4. System X Live, or System from now on, is in 5th. Bandit is 6th. Steel is 7th. Smith, excuse me, is in 8th. Flash is 9th. Castu in 10th. Firepower 11th, and Mac Desi Meridius, which is obviously going to be reduced down to Max, is in 12th. So that's the grid then for this race. Let's get the proper camera up that I want, and let's get this race underway, shall we? Now, as I've said, it is around Laguna Secca. Now I'm just going to quickly jump to the back because it is, Castrian. It's Castrian and the guys behind him all have to start at turn 11, which puts them at a slight disadvantage. You can see the gap opening up already between Steele and Smith. So that's unfortunate. It's just the way the track works. As Arnold goes around the Andretti hairpin at turn 2 for the first time then, and he's leading Golden Nut around turn 3. And heading towards turn 4, pretty tricky section of the track, this one. Then we've got Addy in 4th. He's come under a bit of attention from System and Bandit. Bandit just dropping in behind System. Steel in 7th, with Smith in 8th. Flash in 9th. Castu in 10th. Then we've got Max and Firepower bringing up the rear. It is early days in this race, though, as the guys head up the hill and through turn 7, heading towards the corkscrew for the first time. Now this corkscrew, it's apparently it's about an 18-metre drop between the top and the bottom at the corkscrew, and it's pretty scary when you're on one of those cars. But Golden Lugnuts gets through there okay. Arnold has had to give up the lead. He's dropped to 2nd. Sid in 3rd. Addy, System, Steel, Bandit, Smith. It looks like everybody's got through the corkscrew okay, as they go around turns 10 and 11, and Firepower and Max still at the back, not really making any headroom at the minute. Oh, we do have somebody's off, and that's Steel. What's happened to Steel? He was in 6th, wasn't he? Let's have a look. Oh, he's just took to turn 10 way too wide. Ended up out there in the kitty litter, and a few donuts as well, just to please the crowd that are probably going ecstatic, and the cameras are clicking away like mad. Because we all love to see a good crash, don't we? But Steel now down in 12th, and quite an uphill battle. But we're talking a battle. We've got Arnold and Golden Lugnuts battling it out for the lead as Arnold goes very deep. Oh, there's a bit of a contact there between Lugnuts and Arnold, but Lugnuts just eases back to give Arnold back the place. That's good racing from Lugnuts, but he did compromise his entry into turn 2, and Addy says thank you very much, gives him a wave as he goes on through. So that little bit of contact between Lugnuts and Arnold has cost Lugnuts dearly there, at least one place. Oh, as Addy goes off as well. This track really is starting to catch a few of these guys out. Now it's 3 wide then as they come down towards turn 5. A couple of them are going to have to back out, and they do. Oh, as the leader goes off, Arnold now picking up the sand as he goes onto the Kitty litter, and he's now dropping down as he gets absolutely mugged as they climb up towards the corkscrew. A bit of contact as well, and Arnold's off again. Can he catch it? Hold on to it, hold on to it. Yes, he has. But he's gone from 1st to 9th, and we're only on lap 2. Excuse me, I really need to clear this throat of mine. So poor old Arnold now down into 10th. I think there was a little bit of contact there, but maybe that's one for the stewards to have a look at. Flash just behind him in 11th with Steele in 12th, so that has changed everything. Smith now has taken over the lead. He's got Addy in 2nd. Bandit and Golden Lugnuts into the pits to get rid of those hard tyres very early. Maybe a bit too early, I think, unless they're thinking of doing a 2-stop strategy. But in they come. I'm not so sure the mediums will last, or the fuel for that matter. But there's a few of them now dived into the pits. They've done the mandatory 2 stops on the hard tyres. And as you can see, we've got Bandit, Lugnuts, Max and Steele all in the pits. So very early stops for those guys. Smith out in front now, and well, looking okay at the minute. He's got Addy in 2nd, but Castrian really putting him under pressure as Castrian makes a fantastic move. Let's just have a look at this again from Castrian. It started very early on as he went into turn 2 at the Andretti hairpin. Still stuck to the bumper of Addy as we come up the hill towards turn 3. Addy didn't quite get the entry right, and Castrian, well, the momentum's just carried him through into turn 4, and Addy just couldn't really do much about it. They had to back out and give the place to Castrian. Good stuff from these guys down here in the Amateur League 2 as Castrian moves up into 2nd now. Addy in 3rd. Then we've got System in 4th. Firepower, what a fantastic start for him. Started in, was it 11th or 12th? I can't remember. How many have we got on the grid? I can't remember. But Firepower down there in 11th and 12th, and he's already up to 5th. Now, there have been a few issues up ahead of him early on, which has obviously helped, but you've still got to be there, haven't you? So fantastic stuff from Firepower up into 5th then. Sid in 6th. He's dropped. He was in 3rd, wasn't he? So lost a few places as Sid, but holding on in 6th at the minute. He's got Flash just behind him. Flash put him under a bit of pressure. We'll jump on board with somebody in a minute, shall we? Arnold unfortunately down to 8th. Then we've got Golden Nuts down in 9th, Bandit in 10th, Max 11th, and Steele a long way off the pace at the minute after his big spill down in 12th. So Smith still looking very confident, out on the racing hards as well, so good job from him. Castrian on the mediums giving chase, and well, you can see the grip really coming into its own there from those medium tyres as they come into the Andretti hairpin for the 4th time. Castrian able to brake a little bit later and take a tighter line, so it's not going to be long before he is right up the chuff of Smith as these two continue through. Addy in 4th with Firepower in Addy in 3rd with Firepower in 4th. Let's jump on board with Firepower, shall we? Oh, he's having a look up the inside. I think Addy's gone defensive as we go down towards turn 6. And he did, but Firepower, fantastic stuff there. Just a little bit earlier on the brakes, and he's managed to get that cut back. And well, are they side by side? Yes, they are. Almost into turn 7 then. Can Firepower get that turn done? Yes, he can. Fantastic stuff from Firepower to get himself up there into a podium position all the way from the back. This is only on lap 4, so fantastic stuff from Firepower. Oh, now then, that was... he may well get a penalty for that one. He really did cut the exit of that corkscrew turn. Let's just stick with him just to see if he picks up a penalty. You know what? I think he might have got away with that. I think he has. So lucky boy, Firepower then. So Firepower up to third, Addy in fourth. Not going to give up though, is he? He's on the hard tyres. Oh, a big squirrel on the exit of turn 11 for Addy, but he's managed to catch it, and the car is still facing the right way, which is the main thing. So Addy in fourth. Then we've got System in fifth. He's on the hard tyres. Let's have a look at what is everybody on. Castrian on the mediums with half a second penalty. Smith on the hards. Firepower on the hards. Addy also on the hards with System. Flash is the next medium runner then. So Castrian and Flash are the guys on the medium tyres. Arnold on the hard tyres. Sid on the hard. So a lot of the guys going with the hard tyres, and they're still out there as well. Don't forget, quite a few of the guys, these at the back have all pitted, are now onto the mediums. So the four guys at the back have all pitted onto the medium tyres. A little early for my liking, but they've obviously practiced it. They know what they're doing. We're just following Bandit at the minute, sitting there in ninth. Bit of a gap between himself and Sid, so quite a bit of catching up to do. But I think Bandit was one of the guys that actually came into the pit, so he knows that the guys ahead of him have all got to pit. At the minute then, Castrian just about to serve his penalty. I think it's just after turn 11, so Castrian has got that half a second to serve, but it's not going to affect his track position because Smith is just too far back. Smith running the hard tyres, don't forget. So at the minute, Castrian does have the superior grip, and starting to use it. He really does need to pull a good gap back to Smith and the rest of the guys, because when he does pit onto those hard tyres, then obviously the advantage is going to swing in favour of the rest of the pack. Smith then, Firepower's in, so Firepower is in on lap 6, so Firepower dropping down the order as he waits to get into the pit crew wait for him. There we go, so Firepower in. Look at those guys spring into action. Poetry in motion there as he's taking on board some fuel. So that's dropped Firepower down now then. Is he going to come out of the... Yes, he is, so Firepower is... Well, is he going to come out at the back? Yes, Steele goes through. Now then, the exit is just after turn 2. So let's just have a look and see where Firepower rejoins. It's a very tricky entry onto the track. Oh, and there we go. Bandit and Steele both go through. So Firepower down to the back of the grid as the rest of the guys all go through. But Firepower has made his stop. Castrian yet to stop. He's going to try and take those medium tyres as far as he possibly can. And, you know what? I'm looking... Oh, big squirrel for Castrian. Come on, hold on to it. Hold on to it. Well, he's managed to get the car slowed down and kept it on the tarmac, but Smith has took full advantage of that and has made the overtake. I was going to say that Castrian needs to open up a really decent gap back to the rest of the pack to allow for his pit stop, but that big squirrel coming out of turn 10, really didn't help his cause, and he's had to give up the lead of this race as quite a few more guys start to hit the pit. System is in to get rid of his hard tyres. So is Addy. They've decided enough is enough at the end of lap 6. They are coming in. So it is all change in the pits there. Fresh set of boots for System X and Addy as we're just following Smith and Castrian. Let's jump on board with Castrian as Smith goes very defensive into turn 5, into turn 6. And then they start to climb up the hill towards turn 7, which is more of a kink in the road really, but it's got this nasty sausage curve there on the inside, which will push the car out to the right hand side if you do catch it. But Castrian chasing Smith into the corkscrew they go. Let's get a driver's eye view of this. Blind turn really, and then drop into the right hander. Then you're immediately thrown into turn 9. We will actually do a lap with somebody a little bit later on to see the full course from a driver's eye view. But at the minute we're just following Castrian and Smith. Smith still running the hard tyres. He doesn't want to come in yet, does he? Just over half a tank of fuel for Smith. The same with Castrian, and these two starting to really pull away from the rest of the pack. So I think it is at the minute, looking good for a podium for these two guys. Flash sitting in third, not that far away. He's on the medium tyre, so he has yet to make a pit stop and drop onto the hards. So I think Smith is going to have the advantage here when the pit stops do come into play for these guys. All three have yet to stop, but Flash and Castrian both on the medium tyres. Got Arnold in fourth, taking that turn 2 at the Andretti hairpin very cautiously there. Really doesn't like these hard tyres. Started off at the front of the grid, didn't he, for this race? Dropped all the way to the back after a bit of a spill, but has managed to get himself back up to fourth. Then we've got Max in fifth. Oh, he's been a bit naughty. He's got himself half a second penalty. Sid just behind him in sixth. Then we've got Bandit in seventh. And Firepower in 8th, having made his stop. Then we've got Golden Lugnuts in 9th, Steel in 10th, System in 11th, with Addy down in 12th. These guys having made their stops. So we said we were going to go on board with somebody, so let's have a look with the race leader. Let's see if he stays out. That's a good old battle. Let's just focus on the old no. Smith has decided to come in, so we're going to jump on board with Castrian and do a full lap with him, just to see it from a driver's eye view. So a quick look behind us and we can see the yellow Corvette of Flash. So over the start finish line, then through turn 1, down the hill towards turn 2, the Andretti hairpin. This is a double apex left-hander. Being very careful with that throttle before you get it on, otherwise you will spin out. Then it is chuck the car over to the left to try and widen turn 3, this right-hander. Back on the power again as we head towards turn 4. Again, another right-hander, trying to avoid that sausage curb on the inside. Back on the noisy pedal again, all the way down towards turn 6. This left-hander, which then starts us up the hill towards the dreaded corkscrew. And Castrian getting round then very nicely. You can see just how much sand and gravel there is everywhere. Through turn 7, as I mentioned earlier, with that nasty sausage curb on the inside. Up the hill then towards the corkscrew. Excuse me. And then into this left-hander, and then immediately into the right-hander at the bottom of the hill. The car just goes all over the place, but well done through Castrian. Through turn 9, the left-hander, down the hill still into turn 10, past the pit lane, and then into this very tight 90-degree angle of turn 11, and then we head towards the start finish line. So that was a lap with Castrian, so thank you for taking us round. Our current race leader, he has got Flash for company just behind him, both on the medium tyres, so both yet to make a stop. Arnold on the hard tyres, another one who's not made a stop yet. He really is pushing those hard tyres a lot further than he probably needs to. I think he should have come in a bit earlier to get onto the mediums. But he's got his strategy and tactics worked out. He knows what he's doing. Max in 4th. I'm trying to think where the mellow yellow is. Was it a Tom Cruise film, wasn't it? Days of Thunder or something like that? Was that livery? But that's Max in 4th. Then we've got Bandit in 5th, Firepower in 6th. He's slowly making his way through the grid, isn't he, Firepower? He's all very steady, trying to stay out of trouble. Up to 6th at the minute, having made his stop. He's now onto the medium tyres, and that should take him to the end of the race, but he's got 5 cars in front of him if he wants to get onto the podium, or at least the top step anyway. The 2 guys at the very top have yet to make a stop. So, yeah, still quite a bit of work ahead of Firepower. Same with Smith. He's made his stop. He's now out on the medium tyres. Had a good run early on, didn't he? And led for quite a few laps. Made his stop, but he's back out in 7th. So that's still a good position to be in, with guys ahead yet to stop. Then we've got System X. The guys at the back start to spread out a little bit now. We've got Golden Lugnuts in 9th, all on his lonesome, nobody to play with. Addy down in 10th, Sid in 11th, and Steele in 12th. Now then, he has got people to play with and battle with, but he shouldn't be, because they are the race leaders. So Steele currently in 12th. Now then, he should and probably will just move out of the way when it's safe and convenient to do so, so that the race leaders can pass. Obviously, oh no, not like that, Steele. Oh no. Oh no. Well, that was fantastic. What a brilliant manoeuvre there from Steele to let the race leader pass. We're going to watch this again, because this is how to do it. This is how to let the race leader pass you under a blue flag. This was absolutely fantastic from Steele. Look at that, a full 360, moves out of the way, Castrian goes through, says thank you, and Steele says, on you go, my son. That's the way to do it. Brilliant stuff from Steele. Love it, absolutely love it. And well, so did Castrian, actually. I'm sure he got a bit of a smile on his face as he went through. So Castrian doing a fantastic job at the minute. He's on those medium tyres, although they are starting to show signs of wear now, especially that front right. With this being anti-clockwise track, it is the front right and the rear right that will take most of the punishment. So is Castrian going to come in? No, he's not. He's going to carry on going then. So through turn 11, he's going down towards the start finish. Checkered flag. I'm already giving him the win. He's going to cross the start finish line to start lap 12. So yeah, I'm trying to work that out. 7 laps to go, including lap 12, and he's still on those medium tyres, quarter of a tank of fuel. So it may well be the fuel that actually brings Castrian in. He's just trying to keep the hard tyres down to an absolute minimum. So that's Castrian still out in front. Then we've got Flash in second. Not really under any pressure at the minute. There is quite a gap, actually. In fact, that is a big, big gap between Flash and Bandit. Castrian, Flash, and I believe Bandit haven't pitted yet. So these three guys all have to pit. Now then, the big question is, Firepower sitting in fourth, who has pitted. What is the gap between himself and Castrian? Well, it's a big gap, but it's unfortunate we can't see time-wise. You're in the pits for about 50 seconds, something along those lines. So the big question really is Firepower within overtaking distance of Castrian when Castrian decides to make his pit? We're going to keep an eye on that one. Firepower currently sitting in fourth, just has to keep it on the tarmac really and keep going his race. I think he's almost looking at a podium, at least a podium finish, pushing hard. So let's have a look, see who's got the fastest lap. It is Max Desimeridius with a 130.8. Firepower's fastest lap is a 131. So where is Max? Max is sitting in fifth at the minute. He's well, he got that 130, but he's now in the 33s, steadily 33s. I believe I've seen it. I have seen it. There was a good battle between Max and Firepower towards the end of race one. I really thought that Firepower was going to get the overtake done, but Max just managed to hold on to take the win. Roles reversed this time around, and it is Firepower that is in front of Max. So Firepower will be looking to redeem himself and get the get on the podium at least, possibly get the win. We shall see. Smith in sixth. Now, I said earlier I thought he was in a good position actually. He's made his stop. He's on some fresh medium tyres. Although the fuel is starting to disappear on him, maybe thinking about a bit of fuel saving, I'm not sure. Golden Lugnuts, he's decided to come into the pit, so it's time to get rid of the mediums and onto the hards for Golden Lugnuts. Currently down in eighth. Let's have a look. Where is Addy? Now then, Addy should be able to get by. Here he is. So Addy has moved up into eighth. Is Arnold going to get it as well? I think Arnold will go by Lugnuts as well. What about Sid? Yeah, I think Sid will as well. So Golden Lugnuts losing quite a bit of ground. Now then, race leader into the pits. Castrian is in. Flash is in. Let's have a look. Is Bandit coming in as well? And as I said earlier, the big question really is, where is Firepower? Because he is the next guy along that has already pitted. So if Bandit comes into the pits as well, which is he? No, he's not. Bandit is staying out. So Bandit stays out. Castrian is still into the pits. Not reached the crew yet. Same as Flash. Bandit will move up and take over the lead of this race, but look at Firepower almost snipping around the rear end of Bandit's Corvette. Fuel starting to go into the car of Castrian and Flash, but it's going to be a bit late really to get back out on track ahead of these guys. So Bandit is going to go through, Firepower's gone through, Max sitting in third, he's going to go through as well. He's got Smith bearing down on him as they go through turn 2 for the 14th time. Then Smith desperately looking to get himself up onto that podium, in fourth at the minute, so he's going to have to push hard to try and unsettle Max, force a mistake from him. Let's jump on board, shall we, with Smith. We're on the racing medium tyres as we head down towards turn 6, the left-hander, which takes us up towards the corkscrew. Max taking the very tight line, kicking up a bit of dirt there, trying to put Smith off. It's not going to work though. Quick look behind us and we can see we've got Castrian, who was the race leader for a long time, just sitting there behind. And looks like he's gaining actually, but I think Castrian has gone onto the hard tyres. So at the top of the hill then into the corkscrew, first left and then right. Yeah, well done for Smith, that's the way to do it. Another quick look behind us and we've got the 2 yellow cars of Castrian and Flash bearing down on us into turn 10 for Smith. Now let's have a look at his lap times. His fastest was a 1:31, which he did on lap 12 actually, and then the 13. As Max goes very, very deep into turn 11, and that has given Smith the momentum, and through he goes. So Smith now moves up into third. A mistake there from Max could have cost him a podium finish actually. Very deep into turn 11, and Smith just took the tyre to line, said thank you very much, and moves on through. Tyres really starting to hurt Max. He's not stopped. I thought he'd stopped, but he's not. So Max is going to have to come in and change those tyres, and that is why he went very deep into turn 11. The grip has just about gone on that front right. He's soon going to be caught by Castrian in P5, who has made his stop and is now out on the hard tyres, and just enough fuel, he hopes, to get him to the end of the race. So as Flash has a look at the inside of Castrian at turn 5, Castrian just about holds on. Flash putting him under all sorts of pressure. Up the hill they go through turn 7 towards the corkscrew. It is Flash still sitting behind Castrian. Now let's just have a look and see what's happening up at the top. Bandit still in the lead with Firepower chasing him down. Firepower pushing hard, trying to force a mistake from Bandit. I don't think Bandit's pitted. Well, he's going to have to pit pretty soon because he's only going to get one more lap to an absolute push. So this race really is there for Firepower to take. Excuse me. As we start lap 16, now then Bandit, yeah, the fuel light is on, so he's going to either have to come in or he's really going to have to fuel save. And that is going to play right into Firepower's hands. Firepower with more than enough to get him through the next 2 laps, just over a quarter of a tank. So this race is there for Firepower if he wants it. I've lost my drink. Here it is. Quick swig of water, I think. This is going to get pretty exciting towards the end. I think Firepower can sense that Bandit has got a few issues. Whether it be for tyres or fuel. I'm sure Firepower is getting some messages through his headset from his race director telling him, oh, Bandit gets it completely wrong and Firepower goes through. Let's just have a look, and we'll go back and have a look at that again from Firepower's point of view. As we come out of turn 5 up towards turn 6 at the left-hander. Now then Bandit pushing, he just couldn't get quite tight enough into that, which compromised his entry. That has probably upset him a little bit as we climb the hill towards turn 7, and then yeah, he just couldn't get the car to turn in, could he? I nearly took the back end of Firepower out, but they just managed to miss each other. That was unlucky for Bandit, but fell right into Firepower's hands. So Firepower then, as we come down the corkscrew for the 16th time, 2 more laps to go, has now taken over the lead of this race. Bandit in second. He's going to have to come in to get some fuel. If not, then he's going to struggle. He's going to have to go so slowly and sip that fuel. Is he coming? No, he's not. He's going to kick off. Come on, Bandit. Come on with you now. Come on, Bandit. Sip that fuel. Just little bit. Don't gulp it down. I'm not even so sure he's going to make it to the end of the lap, but he must have had his fuel map on number 6. And is he fuel? No, he's still revving it out. So, Bandit, I don't think you're going to make it to the end of the race, mate. But my fingers and toes and everything are crossed that you do. Smith in 3rd. He will be told of Bandit's issues as well over his headset. So Smith is going to be pushing hard for to get onto that 2nd step of the podium. At the minute he's on the 3rd step, but he does want to go one higher. Let's have a look at the distance between the two. If you look at the top right, you can see the little red triangle. That is Bandit. The next one is G. Smith, and Smith currently sitting in 3rd. Castro in his 4th. Then we've got Max in 5th. Flash 6. System into the pits. He's about out of fuel. Addy is in 8th. Then Arnold, Steele, Golden Lugnut with Sid down in 12th and getting the yellow flag, the blue flag treatment, should I say, from Firepower as Firepower goes flying on through to end lap 17 nearly. Let's have a look at Bandit. Oh, is he going to make it to the pits? He's going to. What a shame. He has ran a fantastic race as Bandit. But he is surely, well, he's going to have to come in. He's just about going to roll into the pits. He's out of fuel now. So unlucky for Bandit. He's going to trickle himself into the pit. What a shame. Smith is going to move up now into P2. Castrian will move up into P3. So that looks like it could be the podium as Firepower starts his final lap. Lap 18 of 18 down the hill. We may as well just stay with him. There's not a lot of battles taking place anywhere else as Firepower goes around Andretti hairpin for the final time. Just keep it on the tarmac and keep it pointing the right way, Firepower, and the race is yours. No real pressure at the minute. Smith is just too far back. So as I say, Firepower just needs to take his time. He can afford to just ease off a little bit. Make sure he stays on track. Smith in 2nd with Castro for company. Actually, Castro is not that far behind Smith. We can't really get a good shot, but Smith, the fuel light is on and the fuel is not looking great, but it's the same for Castro as well. So I was going to say Smith may have to do a little bit of fuel saving, and he is. If you look at the bar above the speedo, you can see that he is short shifting, and that's the way to do it. So Smith in 2nd, but we're going to go back up to Firepower as he comes out of the corkscrew for the last time. Through turn 9, the left-hander, into turn 10 he will go, and one more corner after this one, and the race is his. And I'm going to say a well-run race for Firepower. Actually, he just stayed out of trouble, stuck to his tactics, and the race came to him. So brilliant stuff from Firepower to take the win. Smith, he's going to come in 2nd. Another good race. So Smith, well done to you, sir, to take 2nd. Castrian will get 3rd. Led for most of it, didn't he? Just the pit stops didn't quite play out for him, but Castrian gets 3rd. Flash crosses the line, well, just about. He's out of fuel as well, but gets across the line in 4th. Max having to look after that fuel all the way across the line. He gets 5th. Bandit back out after a well, yeah, unlucky for Bandit. It really was unlucky, but he did manage to get 6th in the end. So not all bad for Bandit. Addy will take 7th. There is a bit of a gap between himself and Arnold, so no real threat to Addy. So he will cross the line in 7th then. So well done to him. And then we're just going to follow Arnold. Started on pole, didn't he? But the race just didn't play out how he wanted it to. But Arnold finishing in 8th with System across the line in 9th. Steele just behind him after a fantastic pirouette to move out of the race leader's way. And then Golden Lugnut will finish in 11th with Sid already finished a lap down in 12th. So that was race 2 of round 1 for the amateur split 2 league. As I say, if you want to see what's happening in race 1 or the rest of the season, actually, you need to head over to Idle for Gaming YouTube. He is normally covering these. If not, then I may well be back to watch some more fantastic racing from these guys. Remember, if you did enjoy these videos, please hit that like button, and if you've not already subscribed, well, why not do it? And then you can come and see what I'm doing. I'm covering the League 1. Well, League 1. It is the Pro Split 1, so the top league guys, and I'll be covering their race a little bit later on. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Take care, and I shall catch you all again sometime.